Today we're going to be talking about artifacts here in Albion Online, and specifically we're going to be talking about how to get different types of artifacts that you can use for crafting to craft the different types of special armor and weapons. Now the main way to get these is going to be from drops from the open world. Whether you're running group dungeons, solo dungeons, open world drops, you can get different types of artifacts. And if we are to open the Destiny board here, you can look at, we go to like the arcane staffs and we go to the Evensong. To craft it, you're going to need this harmonic ring artifact to actually go to a station and craft it together. It's not like the non-artifact. Non-artifacts just need the materials. These special ones are going to need an artifact piece. Now these are dropped from the open world, but there's also a thing called the Artifact Foundry, and that is going to be the main focus of this video. I have some runes and souls and different materials on me. We're going to go to the Artifact Foundry. I'm going to walk you through how to use it and show you how a lot of people will actually use this as like a gambling feature here in Albion Online to try and get higher level artifacts for these runes, souls, and relics. And you can do all the different types of tiers. So I brought tier 4 and then I brought some tier 6. So we'll roll some of those. And then I'll show you guys how to enchant as well as the different features that the station has. So if we open up the map, I am currently in Fort Sterling. It's going to be this right here, the tier 8 Artifact Foundry. It kind of looks like just like a pile of arcane essence, but we are going to run over there. And this is going to be the station, the Artifact Foundry. It has like this hammer in the front, and you can't see the NPC, but he's under all of these mounts. So if we click on the hammer, it opens up the Artifact Foundry window. So the first tab on here is going to be what's called meld. And what we do here is we can choose the tier of the artifacts that we're trying to go for. And on the first option, it's going to be the runes. And these are the artifacts that are available. But as you push this up, different and more expensive artifacts are going to become available. So if we switch to relic, here comes some of the bear paw relics. We have some for the mace head, and then, you know, like the curse blades, and then the skull padding. And then we switch to Avalonian shards, and then we have access to the Avalonian artifacts. So these are the kind of things you're going to have to roll in here to try to get some of these. And a lot of these are going to be either cheap because it's not used a lot, or you might get something like the Realm Breaker artifact, which is a really good one to get because that's a more expensive weapon. So this is kind of like what people will do to re-roll some of their stuff to try to get a more expensive artifact. But I brought runes, souls, and relics so that we could roll a couple on each tree. And then we're going to roll from, let's just say, let's do the mage tree. So we're going to do tier 4. Down here, you can choose either warrior, mage, hunter, and any. So this is just going to pull from the whole, just any of them at all. And then these are the different types of like relics for like the warrior, and then like the mage tower, the hunter's lodge if you were to go crafting. And let's just roll a couple from, let's do the mage tower. So I'm going to meld, see what we get. All right, so it gave us druidic bindings. So this is going to be for the druidic sandals. We'll roll one more. All right, and then we have one for the druid robe. We got both druids, so we got those. We're going to do some souls now, so let's roll a couple souls. Let's do 2 of those. Okay, this is a good one. We got a jawbone, and then we're gonna roll it again, and we got the cloth visor for the fiend cow. So that just pulled from the souls and the runes. So we just done souls, and now we're gonna do relics. So now we're gonna roll some relics, and I brought 50 for this, so I'm gonna do it 2 times. All right, we got for the redemption staff, which is kind of a bad roll, and then we'll roll some more. And we got one for the permafrost. We got the frozen crystal, which isn't bad, but I mean, we probably lost money on these because the relics cost more. You're wanting to go for some of the more expensive artifact pieces on here when you are rolling for these. What you're looking for, if you're trying to roll this for profit, that's essentially gambling. You're trying to get an artifact that's worth more than the runes that you put in. But sometimes people will use this to try to get artifacts for crafting as well. They'll mass do this, and then they'll take all those artifacts and then they'll use those and save them up for doing crafting. Okay, so the next thing that we have is I brought some tier 6 with me. So we're going to do this, and then I'm thinking that we're doing souls, and then we can work off of let's just do the any tree. Let's just meld a couple times on this. It's going to take, on any, it's going to take 36 though. So it's pulling from all of them instead of 50 on each if I'm trying to focus it in one area. So let's do a couple of these. We'll do like 3 of them. And then it spit out these artifacts. We have one for the sarcophagus shield. We have for the druid cowl. And then we got a artifact for the stalker hood. So these are all tier 6 artifacts as well. So we can use those to craft the tier 6 version of those armor pieces. The next section is going to be the salvage. So I have my mercenary jackets here. I have 6 of them. They're just tier 4. They're going to spit out a little bit of silver and some of the materials back, so we can just salvage them here. You can also do this at the item repair station. So both of those stations have a salvage option. So just be careful when you're doing stuff like this because the enchant tab is right next to it. Clicking on this salvage tab, dragging it in here, it'll destroy your items. Just be very careful. So the next tab that we have is going to be the enchant tab. And for this tab, you can drag whatever piece that you're trying to enchant in here, and it'll show you how many of the runes that you need, souls or relics, depending on, it's going to take it to point 1, which is going to be enchant 1. And then after that, it'll ask for souls, which we'll do here in a second. But there is a different amount that you need for each type of armor piece and weapons. So for one-handed weapons, it's going to be 144. For two-handed weapons, if you were to put a two-handed weapon in here, it would be 192 souls, runes, or relics. For armor and bags, it's going to be 96. So like a chest piece is going to be 96 in the bag. And then helmets, boots, capes, and offhands are going to be 48. That's how many you're going to need to get those enchanted up. So we just press the enchant button here. This will finish. We will throw it back in, and now it's asking for souls. If we were to do it again, it'll take it to point 2. So we can enchant that. But if we were to drag this last one in, I don't have the relics for it, but it would take it to a 4.3 light crossbow, and every single enchantment level gives it an extra 100 item power, which increases the overall stats of the weapon, but we don't have the stuff to enchant that. We have the transmute tab, and what this does is you can spend a little bit of silver, and then you can put in, like, for example, I could put in runes and get souls back. I could put souls in here and get relics back, but I have to pay 1.8 mil to do this exchange, which is not worth it. There's a bunch of other different things on this interface that you can scroll down and kind of see. So we have you could take solo dungeon scrolls and turn them into group dungeon maps. So we could actually craft those. You could actually salvage them, group dungeon maps, into solo dungeon maps as well. We have arcane essence, and this is just a transmute process. You're going to lose a lot of silver on most of these. Transmuting is going to be very expensive in general, but this is something that you can do. So I could take these and turn them into those, or again, 1.8 mil, which is insane. For if I was to take these souls and turn them into relics, this is not worth it at all. I'd lose so much silver. But this is the transmute tab. It's going to be the 4th one. But that is all of the basics you need to know about the Artifact Foundry and re-rolling artifacts and enchanting here in Albion Online. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see all of you in the next video, and I'll see all of you in Albion Online.